in today's world, strategy alone isn't enough. The most successful leaders are those who lead with awareness, empathy, and inclusion. But what does that actually mean? And can it be measured? Despite all our knowledge about leadership, many workplaces still suffer from low morale, poor innovation, and burnout. Clearly, something is missing. This isn't theory in a vacuum. I spoke to professionals across industries, analyzed leadership behaviors, and measured impact on motivation, innovation, and team success. We found that mindful, inclusive leaders create safer, more inspired teams. They're more resilient during crisis and better at retaining talent. We've all heard the stories of great companies with brilliant products that fall apart because of poor leadership. But what exactly are we missing in how we define and develop leaders today? It's no longer enough to just be a charismatic or strategic leader. Today's organizations need leaders who are self-aware, emotionally intelligent, and inclusive. How does emotional intelligence influence leadership effectiveness? What role does mindfulness play in decision making? How does gender balance affect motivation? Do leaders with EI perform better in crisis? What are the benefits of spiritual awareness in leadership? How can organizations develop future-ready leaders? These questions became the guiding light for this video.
Leadership has been a focal point in organizational studies for centuries, emphasizing authority, power, and control. In the industrial age, leadership was a top-down process, with leaders imposing control to achieve objectives. Today's businesses operate in a dynamic environment, with rapid technological advances and globalization, changing leadership practices. Leaders face new demands, needing digital literacy and the ability to lead digitally empowered teams. As businesses expand into new markets, leaders must navigate geopolitical risks and regulatory challenges. Diverse teams outperform homogeneous ones in solving complex problems, making inclusive leadership a critical competency. ESG considerations pressure companies to adopt sustainable practices, focusing on long-term value creation for stakeholders. Engaged employees are more productive, highlighting the central role of leadership in shaping organizational culture. Spirituality in leadership emphasizes purpose and values-driven decision-making, aligning goals with societal well-being. Yvonne Chouinard of Patagonia exemplifies spiritual leadership, prioritizing sustainability and ethical business practices. Leaders integrating mindfulness navigate complexities effectively, as exemplified by Howard Schultz at Starbucks.
Historically, leadership focused on male-dominated traits like assertiveness and competitiveness. However, the evolving needs of organizations have shifted this perspective. Qualities traditionally associated with female leaders, such as empathy and emotional intelligence, are now recognized as critical to effective leadership. Research shows that both genders display traits such as assertiveness and strategic thinking, diminishing the leadership gap between male and female executives. In today's global environment, leadership has expanded beyond power and authority, focusing on adaptability and emotional intelligence. Adaptive leadership encourages teams to address complex challenges through experimentation and shared responsibility, enhancing organizational growth. Psychological safety is crucial. Leaders that foster this environment empower employees to take risks and engage in open dialogue, driving innovation. Digital leadership involves navigating remote work complexities and leveraging technology to enhance team collaboration, requiring a digital mindset. Servant leadership prioritizes employee growth and well-being, showing positive correlations with job satisfaction and organizational performance.
The integration of mindfulness into leadership practices enhances decision-making, conflict resolution, and team cohesion. However, research on the impact of these practices on organizational outcomes remains fragmented. Gender dynamics in leadership studies show the complementary strengths of male and female leaders are underexplored. The intersectionality of gender in leadership effectiveness requires deeper examination of how identities shape experiences. Understanding these factors can lead to equitable leadership development and inclusive organizational cultures. The rise of sustainable leadership emphasizes balancing economic performance with environmental and social responsibility. Leaders are expected to champion sustainability initiatives and integrate them into core business strategies for long-term value.